Thanks to the advances in technology, the Metaverse has been trending in recent years. A place where everyone can gather and interact without worrying about distances and other physical limitations. It may also be associated with worlds where you can create and exchange stuff thanks to forms of data and the support provided by bigger corporations. But metaverses have been around for many years, and the term metaverse is a fancy word for what we have known as virtual worlds. Virtual, from the Latin word virtualis, which means power or capacity, denotes something that has the potential to be real or to produce some effect. It means that a virtual entity has an apparent existence as opposed to a real one. Therefore, a virtual object may not exist in our current reality, but it feels as such and is interactable in another plane, a virtual reality. Virtual reality, in terms of technology, has its roots in the 20th century. You probably remember the Viewmaster, a viewer for stereoscopic images that was introduced in the year 1939. It is also said that in the late 1940s and early 1950s, the US Navy requested a flying simulator developed by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology under the name of Project Whirlwind. In 1950, the filmmaker and VR pioneer Morton Haley wrote about a device that would allow the viewer to not only see films, but also use their other senses as well, such as sound, smell, and touch. In 1962, his first prototype Sensorama was built. It wasn't until 1968 when the very first augmented reality headset was invented. Computer scientist Ivan Sutherland, in collaboration with some of his students, created a head-mounted display system that showed wireframes generated by a computer program. Due to its big size, the device was called Sword of Damocles, which comes from a Roman tale about the dangers of power. Other works include the Aspen movie map, a virtual tour through Aspen created by MIT scientist Andrew Lippman in 1978, different NASA investigations in the late 1970s and early 1980s, and VPL research products from 1984 until late 1990s. This was also the time when the video game market had its peak. Nintendo released the Famicom 3D system in 1987 and the infamous Virtual Boy in 1995. Both game devices displayed stereoscopic 3D images. Sega would also release 3D glasses in the late 1980s, but in 1991, Sega of America attempted to release their first VR headset. Although it never came out, Sega of Japan, alongside with the Virtuality Group, the ones responsible for the VR video game Vector Nightmares in the early 90s, created a series of VR attractions using the Sega VR1 headset. These are many examples of interactions with virtual worlds, but interaction with other users would be prominent thanks to the connection between computers and the massification of the internet. The late 90s and the 2000s saw the birth of many massive online role-playing games and first-person shooter games. It was also the time where social networks were launched, being Facebook one of the most popular at the time. The interest in VR technologies had a new peak in 2012 when Palmer Luckey, founder of Oculus VR, presented the new Oculus Rift at the E3 of that year. The first commercial release of Oculus Rift came out in 2015, followed by PlayStation VR and HTC Vive in 2016. From this point, there were many advances in VR technology, and headsets became more powerful, comfortable, and accessible. Virtual worlds and multiple user interactions are now a reality. But despite the fact that the word metaverse has been present in literature since the 90s, it is in recent years that the term has been popularized by the video game industry and other technological companies. In 2014, Facebook acquired Oculus VR, in a time where blockchain technologies started to grow. In 2018, Oculus lead Jason Rubin documents their interest in Metaverse. And in 2021, the Facebook company changed its name to Meta Platforms. Now the Metaverse is not just a place to chat, play, or even work. It also became an economic landscape, where people can exchange money for digital assets. And what some consider a form of entertainment, others consider an investment. Whatever the future of the Metaverse holds, Don't forget that the Metaverse belongs to all of us. We created, we expanded, and we enjoyed it. Because of that, we must keep it safe, keep it healthy, keep it useful, and keep it fun.